low, girl. Drop it 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 low,
This for boss bitch. For money making misses, all my ladies, throw your hands in the air. I got Patron in my cup, and I don't give a fuck. The baddest chick in the club right here. Here I go. You wanna see me drop it, drop it, drop it. Wanna pop it, pop it, pop it. Shake that ass on the floor. You wanna see me shake it, shake it, shake it. Yeah, you like it, like it, like it. When I drop it real low. Yeah, boy, you like it. I can tell that you like it. Yeah, boy, you love when my booty goes boom, 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 boom. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, 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 drop. You got me in the thing, around and put a thing, around and put a thing, around and put a thing. Around and put a thing, around and put a thing, around and put a thing, around. Can't stop staring at your body. Put my hands on your body. You sexy for sure. You the real deal, kinda hottie. Coming right in my Bugatti. Girl, gon' drop it low. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Where you wanna go? Boom, 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 boom. Drop, 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 drop. All in a drop, 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 drop. You got me in the thing, around the thing, around the say you like the way my booty, booty, booty pop. Yeah. Say you like the way my booty, booty, booty rock. Yeah. Say you like the way my booty, booty, booty drop. Yeah. Drop, drop, drop. Hey, girl, I like the way your booty, booty, booty rock. Girl, I like the way your booty, booty, booty drop. Girl, I like the way your booty, booty, booty. Boom, 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 boom,
Hey, 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 hey.
Same time tomorrow?
Same time tomorrow.
That's Estradine featuring my baby daddy. My baby daughter. Christopher. What's up, what's up, what's up? Hey, I ain't been on him but a second, Jack. I ain't gonna be on him but a second. Talk about something that just popped up and it came in my email first. Another story about Mr. Luigi Mangione. And then I saw some sort of update on Law and Crime, right? Which is one of our true crime sources or resources, whichever one you want to consider them as. But of course, I break it up, but they can be both a source and a resource. Anyway, first thing I want to talk about is this article. Now, okay, this is one of the times where I know the defense always have to do their job. But remember I told you, I just don't like a bunch of bullshit. That's just me. I don't like a bunch of smoke and mirrors and altering of what it means and what it don't mean. When you know exactly what it is, how it works, and all of that. Now I understand it's always your job to play with the facts. I get that. That is what we do. However, I was always too real to be doing all of that. Anybody got time for that? Okay. Ooh, let me take that off there. I don't have time for all of that. I really don't. I'll make it big. Hold on. Okay, I want to get to the actual article because I want all the damn pop-ups and shit. Okay. It says Luigi Mangione claims cops illegally collected his DNA by giving him snacks after McDonald's arrest. Yeah, so let me see. What the video says. Okay, that video is about Trump talking about Biden. Anyway, let me read. It says Pennsylvania cops illegally collected Luigi Mangione's DNA when they gave him food and a soda, a police station at a police station the day of his arrest. The accused United Healthcare CEO Killer's lawyers claim in court papers. Mangione lawyers claim he was illegally arrested at McDonald's in Altoona, PA on December 9th, since cops lacked probable cause during the encounter and illegally failed to read him his rights and inform him he was a suspect for at least 20 minutes when he was swarmed by over 10 officers. That's Mr. Eyebrows. Says since the arrest was illegal to begin with, any further statements and evidence the cops collected that day, including his DNA taken from the items he ate and drank from the police station, was also illegal, Mangione lawyers claim in court papers from last week. While illegally seized, arrested, and detained, Mangione was provided food and soda while at the Altoona Police Department station. His lawyer said in the filing the purposes for the same was to obtain DNA from Mangione for further investigative purposes. Cops were only able to track Mangione to the fast food joint because of an anonymous 911 call, and they didn't have any independent corroborating evidence that Mangione was in fact the suspect sought in New York during the arrest, the filing alleges. Officers officers had no probable cause for grounds for the arrest other than a hunch and or unparticularized suspicion, the court documents argue. In addition to the DNA evidence, Mangione's lawyers also want to keep out evidence taken from his backpack, including a ghost gun, a silencer, a loaded Glock magazine, and multiple fake IDs. Mangione's lawyers are trying to keep all of the evidence from the arrest out of the trial and are even trying to get the charges in Pennsylvania case dismissed on the same grounds. Mangione is accused of executing healthcare honcho Brian Thompson outside of a Mangione hotel, Lord, a Manhattan hotel, on December 4th, and then going on the lam for 5 days until authorities tracked him down to the Keystone State. He faces weapon possession charges and forgery and false identification crimes in Altoona. He also faces more serious state and federal charges in New York for Thompson's murder. He's pleaded not guilty for all the cases. Mangione, 26, who graduated from the elite University of Pennsylvania, has garnered a cult-like following from people disenchanted with the American healthcare system and corporate greed. A campaign that proclaims him innocent has collected nearly $740,000 for his legal defense fund to date. The Blair County District Attorney's Office, which is prosecuting the Pennsylvania case, didn't immediately return a request for comments Monday. No, like somebody I knew. No. What up, Smarter? So, listen, because I didn't read the article all the way, I just, oh, that's what I get for skimming and scamming through the damn article, honey. But anyway, they pretty much gave you the answer to the question I was going to ask is what do you think makes the collection of his DNA by means the cops used illegal, right? They already gave you the answer. So, because I was going to tell you, you all know that collection by way of shit, trash, whatever, whatever, and it, again, sometimes you have to tickle the source. I explained that to you a long time ago. What that is, that's inside talk somewhat. Sometimes, especially back in the day, you hear it referred to as tickle the wire, right? Meaning do something to make your suspect say something on that phone, okay, that they can use. Boy, to play more games than the NBA, child. Set your ass up. And it's legal. I'm trying to tell folks, like, just because your ass was set up, somebody had to tickle something, whatever. Sometimes, you got to understand, as I explained, sometimes the length of time that you have for that wire, that whatever you got out, not wire, Lord, that warrant, that whatever, only for a certain amount of time, usually 30 days. And if you can't um, get something popping in 30 days, then that shit expires. And you got to go back to the judge and explain why you need it extended and all that BS, so on and so forth, right? So, um, what else would I say? Well, this is what I was going to say. So you have to get stuff done, in a timely fashion. If not, then you have let a resource go to waste. Hold on, pull up something. So anyway, what up, purple purple? Anyway, so the article pretty much tells you that the defense, they said that his detention is illegal for all those reasons I read off. They didn't read the Miranda. He didn't have probable cause. They didn't have probable cause, and so on and so forth, and all that extra shit they put in the paperwork in their motions. And it will come up again um, in preliminary hearing. It's going to be a pre-trial motion. It's already out, so on and so forth, right? The same shit, different case. Um, is it annoying? Yeah, when you know that everything was done per the rules, right? Now I don't know this, right? Because I don't know this case, or whatever. But 9 out of 10 times, should be done by the rules, right? And especially when it comes to probable cause and reasonable suspicion. The bar is so low for that. Yeah. Okay. And I said that they had probable cause because he look what he was arrested with. Look at them eyebrows. Look at that photo. That's his ass. Like what the hell? You understand what I'm saying? It's like, but you know, your attorney is supposed to challenge all those things, right? I just have a sense of integrity and ethics where I'm not gonna, I just can never sit up there and say all that extra shit when I know damn well in my damn soul. Per law, it's pretty much accurate. That's a motherfucking bush ass eyebrow. And then the rhetoric after the fact, he seems sounds like one of those radicals, right? That gets radicalized over the social system, okay, or the social structure. Now, it depends on who you are, whether you think is unjust or it's just, right? But that's what we have these people that get radicalized over social social system, social structure, right? Yeah. So all of it just goes together. That's how I'm pretty sure they got the right person. And then I think there was some clips of him or some photos, something like that I'm recalling of him like in the student halls or whatever, stomping for these issues, it's healthcare and shit. So hey, I mean, I may be rust whatever, on the information, but this is what I kind of remember. But I really wanted to get into this particular issue for two reasons, right? One, the legal, or three reasons. One, the legal aspect of it. Two, the social aspect of it. And three, the psychological aspect of it. Yeah. And I'm not gonna get into the philosophy of it because I don't know what it is exactly, right? In my opinion, because it would be in my opinion of his philosophical view of the whole healthcare system or whatever, if he has one. But I'm thinking he's the one that shot that man, and if it was due to some type of his feelings about healthcare, or whatever, he has a philosophical view of the whole healthcare system, right? So we're actually looking at when someone's philosophical view, psychological perception, social social understanding of the law with regards to healthcare. And all the times when you say the law, right, it doesn't take on the meaning of, bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you, lock your ass up and take you down, whatever. No. The law it could be the simply the rules and regulations. That's the law that governs that particular company, governs that policy, govern the healthcare laws as it is in America, right? So the law can take some several different meanings, right? But here I'm talking about this healthcare situation and the social view of it, right? And but I came across this clip, and it's just freshly. Where is that? Yeah, there you go, Mr. Eyebrow. I remember my eyebrow. It wasn't that thick, but it has definitely thinned out over the years. You can still, I mean, the shape is still there. Thank God. But listen to Law and Crime, right? Because I got like right here. So I told you I don't never go all the way through these videos. I stopped about right here. Well, I started listening to this guy, and I was like, "Oh crap!" We do some psychological, psychological and social, and a little bit of philosophical work, especially when it pertains to a case or something we're talking about or what have you, right? And thank God I have all those people on deck. Some of y'all didn't know that y'all know that old Keller is one of them philosophical nerds? Oh Lord. You didn't know? You couldn't tell? Always want to know the meaning, always want to know why. And then when you give the answer why, they want to know why to that why. Like what the fuck? Shut up. Woo! I can keep telling you about them stories. I hate those professors. Ooh. I got smart though. I started looking at their bio. Time I see, because if I knew that that class was going to could possibly have a professor that graduated with a philosophical type of degree, oh, I'm out of there. Oh, I ain't clicking on you. I'm not. I'll be on a waiting list first. No, because it's gonna be some shit. You do too much. You're gonna ask all them questions and wanna explore, and discover the discoveries and shit. Shut up! Like, what the fuck? Leave people alone. people. And I am a deep thinker, right? But once I get to a certain level, I get my answers or whatever. They be wanting you to explore the answer that you arrived at. I don't have time for that. You do that. How about that? And then here's the thing: they want you to get into what they into. I don't have time for that. I be into my shit. I ain't got you know how much shit I have in my head. If you get put on the brain, one of the most psychological motherfuckers, you put that shit on your brain too, your ass gonna be crazy. You be like, huh? They be wanting to know, like, okay, who made the and I'm telling you a conversation. I'm giving you a real life conversation. Who made the buses? Why were the buses made? Why this him about the buses? This him about the fucking buses, child. The buses that you see transporting people all around your city. Bitch, I don't know. And at this point, isn't really that motherfucking serious. You be like, cause I don't have the patience. I don't. I've never had patience, child. And they sit up there and ask you all them damn questions. I be like, oh my God. And granted, right? It is a good exercise, right? It's a good mental exercise. And it does help you to think. But when I tell you I'm done thinking, okay? I'm done thinking. Okay, I don't want to do that no more. Because you run into um my area of pet peeves where I store and house my pet peeves. One, is it that serious? We got to do all of this. That's when you're running into that. I can understand, your exploration. Okay, go ahead on and explore it, huh? Go do that. I just don't want to go on that journey with you. Okay, so leave me the fuck alone. I wonder if I can find that email between that teacher and I. It's probably on my student email. But baby, I told you about that. Don't keep fucking with me. I don't want to do this. Let me take this B. I don't no. I don't want to improve it. He was willing to. He wanted to hold off my B to see if I want to redo a whole paper, y'all, a whole funky ass paper for a A. No, I don't. I have a child and I work 2 jobs and I'm here with you. No, I don't have that. They might be having flashbacks, honey. No, I told you anything scarred me. You only got to do one time, right? And I'm scarred for life. Nope. And that teacher set the precedent of when I was okay. I see now. Cause see, I'm up in the area where I'm taking classes and stuff like that that I need. I'm gonna run into motherfuckers like this. And God bless them. I just don't want to go on a journey with you. I'd rather sit and listen to your ass. I don't want you to ask me no questions and taking me further than I want to go. That's my only problem. And they want you to go. You be hearing Keller. You see her Keller. And they ain't gonna stop till they understand it the way they understand it. And at that point, I'm gonna punch in your goddamn face. Because I ain't asked for all of that. Tell me I'm lying. Go back and listen. Go back and listen. Oh, honey. What the fuck? Well, why is it like this? Motherfucker, I don't know. They be asking you questions as if you were there. I don't know. I'm just telling you what it is. That's it. IT. I'm telling you what the possibilities are. That's all I got. Shit, if you want to explore all of that, go on motherfucking Tom Sawyer. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Shit. They want to take you on the whole conversation and the whole exploration journey with their motherfucking ass. And I don't have time for that. I'm telling you like it is. I don't be with all that. Shit. Look. I had a flashback with Keller. I'm easy, girl. I be flashing. Ooh, hold on.
Luigi Mangione's official defense fund just received a major financial boost. An anonymous donor has pledged tens of thousands of dollars, the largest bump since his incarceration. This unexpected donation could be a game changer in his legal battle. So, what does this mean for his defense, and how might it impact the case moving forward? I'll walk you through the details. For Law and Crime News, I'm Kennedy Walker. Luigi Mangione's popularity continues to grow by the day, along with the public's willingness to support him. Mangione is accused of shooting and killing the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson. If convicted of all of the charges against him, he could end up locked up for life. The 26-year-old is accepting donations to cover his legal bills. According to the fundraiser on Give, Send, Go, the money raised will go directly to his attorneys, who are handling his 3 pending criminal cases. The latest contribution is the largest yet. An anonymous donor pledging a whopping $36,500. In a comment, the mystery donor explained their reasoning, saying, quote, "What intrigues me about this case is how unified folks' responses are regardless of strata. In corporate America, for instance, there has been widespread doubt of potential prosecutorial mishandling and overcharging. I've also been surprised at the almost ubiquitous nature of support towards the suspect that I would expect to be quite bifurcated in this type of litigation. Quite exceptional." The donation surpasses the previous high of $30,000 made just a few weeks earlier. So far, Mangione's defense fund has raised nearly $730,000, inching closer to its $1 million goal. His legal team is preparing for what will likely be a long and highly publicized trial. The Maryland native has been indicted on 11 state charges and faces 4 federal charges. These include first-degree murder, murder in furtherance of terrorism, criminal possession of a weapon, and stalking. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Now, it's been more than 3 months since Mangione was arrested. Authorities say he is this hooded figure that shot United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in the back outside of a New York City hotel. Thompson was headed to an investors conference scheduled for later that morning, and that's when Luigi Mangione, according to authorities, allegedly murdered him. The hooded person then took off, reportedly fleeing New York City. Shortly after the shooting, an investigation was launched. Police pleaded with the public, offering a reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the gunman. Then images were released of the man believed to be the shooter. The man is seen with a mask on his face in this surveillance from a Starbucks and a taxi cab. Later, a crack in the case. Presuming it's the same person, police have a photo of the man without a mask on. This is surveillance from the hostel he was reportedly staying at. Meanwhile, New York Police Department Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenney said 3 pieces of ammunition recovered from the scene had the words "deny, delay, and depose" written on them in marker. For days, police were working on finding the shooter, and then they got wind that he was allegedly in Pennsylvania. After a week-long manhunt, Mangione was arrested at a McDonald's in Altoona. As he was handcuffed, police searched the backpack he'd been carrying and allegedly found a ghost gun and a notebook with writings that reportedly point to anger at the healthcare industry, talking about how they're corrupt and uncaring. An important piece of information, as Brian Thompson was the CEO of United Healthcare. The company is one of the largest healthcare companies in the world and the largest healthcare insurer in the United States. Mangione is currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York. In a statement posted on his website, he says, quote, "I am overwhelmed by and grateful for everyone who has written me to support their stories and express their support powerfully. This support has transcended political, racial, and even class divisions as mail has flooded MDC from across the country and around the globe." And joining me to talk more about this is Rich Schoenstein. Rich has tried cases in state and federal court in New York and across the country. Rich, thank you so much for coming on today.
My pleasure being here.
So let's just jump right in. In your experience, how often do you see the community rallying behind a defendant like this? So much so that they're donating thousands of dollars.
Okay, so I don't know that I agree the community is rallying around him. There is definitely a large group of people that are making financial contributions, and I haven't seen that a lot. I haven't seen a lot of crowdsourcing efforts for defendants in murder cases trying to get legal fees paid. I don't think I've seen anything on this magnitude, in all fairness.
Absolutely. I completely agree. That's why it's so shocking. I would say, what does the donation size, $36,500 from a single anonymous donor, say just about public sentiment towards this case?
Well, I don't know the size of a single donation. I would have to know who the donor was, right? Because 36,000 to one person is much different than 36,000 to another person. Or is it really one contribution, or is it pooled from a number of people and given under one name? So I don't know. It's a large amount of money, obviously, $36,000. So somebody is really putting their money where their mouth is, but I would need to know more facts to assess it more.
Right. And so it looks like from the website, they're trying to raise $1 million and they're getting pretty close. Right now, they're inching up towards $730,000. What do you think just about the fact that they, in these few months, have been able to raise $728,000?
Well, I think it does denote massive public interest in the case. I don't think, it's a large amount of money to collect in, as I said, for a defendant in a murder case. If you think about it in terms of like political fundraising and other kind of fundraising efforts, it's not the largest amount of money that's ever been collected, but it certainly is substantial. One other thing I noticed, Kennedy, about this website, and I know this donor that gave $35,000, I think there was a statement attached to that contribution that talked about the ubiquitous support for the defendant in this case. So first of all, I'm not sure it's ubiquitous because I see on the website, and I'm looking right now, there's almost 22,000 donors. That's a lot. Don't get me wrong. That's a lot of people, but that's not ubiquitous. That's not 8 million, right? That's not everybody. That is a large group of people. And I know there are others who haven't given money that support him. But the thing I find interesting is that the supporters fall in multiple groups. I'm looking live right now as we record on the comments. The first one says, Luigi is a hero to all Americans living under the boot of health insurance companies. So that person gave $25 because they think he did it, and they're happy he did it. The next comment I see, and I see a couple comments below, Luigi is innocent. So these donors are a mix of people who think he didn't do it and people who think he did do it and are happy to do it. And frankly, probably some people who just think he's handsome or interested in the case or want to be part of something. It's a mix of people, and I don't think you can lump them all together and say they all provide the same kind of support. It's really interesting to dig into it.
Yeah, I have personally never seen anything like this, and I know you said same goes for you, right?
Yeah, this is unique for sure. I'm interested in why people are giving, and I'm interested in how the money is being used.
Right. Well, according to the website, it's saying that it's being used to fund his defense. How might a well-funded defense impact the outcome of a case like this?
Well, certainly the better funded the defense, the better. One of the issues in criminal cases is that the state or the federal government has massive resources and the defendants often don't. One of the things I'm interested about, I haven't really heard that this defendant didn't have resources. He went to an Ivy League school. He apparently comes from an affluent family. I've not heard that he lacked resources to mount a defense. He has hired a prominent and excellent criminal defense lawyer. One of the best in New York City is running his defense. So I've not heard any suggestion that he is unable to mount a vigorous defense with or without this fund. That's one of the things that confuses me a little bit about people giving to it. If you're worried about defendants having the ability to mount a legal defense, there are a lot of defendants in the criminal court system who don't have anything, who have to rely on legal aid lawyers or no lawyer at all. And if you're really interested in making sure that people have a legal defense, you might consider some of the fundraising efforts in that regard.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. I know a lot of people could use those funds that Luigi is getting. Are there any legal or ethical concerns when it comes to large donations funding a criminal defense?
Well, the concern I have is about the website. If you read the terms and conditions, I know no one ever reads the terms and conditions of a website like this. I have. The terms and conditions are full of disclaimers. We bear no responsibility for how the money is used. If the money is not used for his defense, you can't come after us. You are assuming the risk of giving. I mean, it's in there all over their terms and conditions. So you can give to this website. You have zero assurance. And then there's something on the website that says if the money is not used for his defense, it's going to be given to some sort of public interest groups. I don't know that that would be enforceable. I don't know that you would be able to enforce that as a matter of contract law. So you can give to this website, but you're doing it on faith because the website itself is precluding you from asserting a claim that the money was misused.
Right. And it seems like in cases like these, we really don't know what's going to happen until it happens. But based on the charges against Luigi, what kind of defense strategy do you think his attorneys might pursue?
This, to me, is very much a reasonable doubt case. I haven't heard that he has an alibi. I haven't heard that he has some sort of affirmative. It's not a self-defense case. There's no affirmative defense here. I think it is going to be the government's failure to prove that he is the person who committed these crimes. It sounds like there will be some attack on the way the investigation has been conducted. That is very common in this kind of case. It doesn't mean it's without merit. It may very well be without merit, but I don't automatically conclude that it has merit because you see it a lot in this kind of case. But I think the question is, right, it's the prosecution's burden. Beyond a reasonable doubt, can they get 12 jurors unanimously to vote guilty because they believe the proof was beyond a reasonable doubt? That's what the defense is going to challenge.
And can you break down some of the charges for those that may not understand? How does the charge of murder in furtherance of terrorism differ from a standard first-degree murder charge?
Under New York state law, intentional murder is only second degree. In other states, intentional murder is first degree and sort of unintentional reckless murder might be second degree. But in New York, intent to kill only gets you to second degree. And the significance of that is second degree murder, the highest penalty is life imprisonment with an opportunity for parole. First degree murder requires an enhancement. For example, killing a police officer is an automatic enhancement to first degree murder. An act of terrorism is an enhancement to first degree murder. And first degree murder carries a potential penalty of life in prison without the opportunity for parole. So the reason they went for first degree and the reason they made the terrorism allegations is to put on the table a potential penalty that doesn't include the possibility of parole.
Can you explain how this falls under the umbrella of terrorism?
Well, that's a principal point that's going to have to be determined by a jury. And it makes the case a lot more complicated. So the terrorism aspect, you now have to get into why he did it. For intentional murder, you really don't. If you believe that he pointed a gun at person, shot at the person, knew he was going to kill the person, that's intent to kill. But for terrorism, you have to show that he's did it to strike fear. Really, the statute talks about the government, striking fear in the government, but maybe it's a little bit broader than that. I know a lot of people think this terrorism count is a stretch, and I very much think it's harder to prove than the rest of the case, but you're going to have to convince the jury that he did this to scare people and send a message. And I think arguably, very much he's sending a message because this is apparently or allegedly all about the healthcare industry and the insurance industry, and he's sending a message. And that's what people online are reacting to. Right? The way people are reacting actually proves that he was sending a message. The question is, was he trying to instill fear? That's a more difficult question.
Right. And with Mangione facing both state and federal charges, how do prosecutors determine jurisdiction in a case like this?
Well, usually, so there are state and federal charges here. The federal murder charge, they had to get to by these stalking allegations. to get under the federal statute. And again, that's a little clumsy because was he stalking, allegedly? Was he stalking Brian Thompson by knowing where he was and then going up and shooting him? If that's what happened, is that stalking? That complicates the case. So there is a federal claim out there. Typically, the federal and the state governments will discuss and decide among themselves who's going first. I mean, you don't usually end up with federal and state prosecutors in a public fight about who gets to go first. And I think this has worked out that the state claims are going forward first.
But what are the key differences between how a case is tried in state court versus federal court?
Well, there's not much a difference in the way it's tried. The key difference here is that the state case would focus on this terrorism allegation. The federal case would focus on the stalking allegation, and the federal murder charge carries at least the theoretical possibility of the death penalty being imposed. So if they got a conviction in federal court, there would be a separate sentencing stage where they would have to talk about whether or not the death penalty is getting imposed. That wouldn't be in play in the state because life in prison without opportunity of parole is the maximum penalty.
What challenges do prosecutors face when trying a case of this magnitude, if any?
So one challenge they face right now is public opinion. I mean, one challenge they face is this support that's built. They're going to face the fact that there are protesters outside the court that the jury has to walk by every day. They're going to face the fact that this has been a well-covered case in the media, and it's going to be hard to find jurors who don't already have an opinion one way or another about the case. Those are going to be challenges. The proof is a challenge, right? Because there's no eyewitness. There's a lot of video, but there's no clear video evidence of him being the person that shoots the victim, right? You know, we're not sure from the video. So there's a degree of proof, and I haven't seen all of the proof that the state's going to muster in that regard. So I don't know how strong it is, but that's the challenge. And beyond a reasonable doubt is the ultimate challenge in all of these cases. The standard of proof is appropriately very, very high.
Do you think that there's a chance or that it could be argued that the case should be moved out of New York since it has been so publicized?
Yeah, I don't think that'd work. But, you know, it's an 8 million person city. So it's not like something happens in a small town and you move it to the next small town because you're worried that people are connected to local authorities or there's bias or it's been predetermined. I don't remember any big cases being transferred out of New York City. By the way, I'm extremely prejudiced, but we happen to have the best courts and the best jury pool in the world. So I don't know why either side would want to move it out of New York City.
How does a defense attorney handle a case that is so widely followed by the public? We know we talked about, the challenges that the prosecutors may face with this, but how does a defense attorney handle it?
Well, the defense attorney is speaking on behalf of the client. So to some extent, it depends on how the client wants to handle it. My strong feeling is that the defense attorney should focus on what happens in the courtroom. The defense attorney should focus on the fact that there will be 12 people in the courtroom who decide guilt or innocence. Forget who's on X. Forget what people are saying on YouTube. You have 12 people in front of you for several weeks that you're going to try to persuade. That's what matters. The evidence that's going to be presented at trial is what matters. You have to do everything. You have to challenge every piece of evidence you don't think the prosecution should use because it wasn't collected in the proper way or because it's prejudicial or because it's not relevant or for all of those reasons. You just have to stay in every bit of that fight and you have to keep your eye on the courtroom. It's hard in these cases to get distracted. It's easy, I should say, to get distracted by the external noise.
In your experience, if you were prosecuting this case, what would your strongest argument be for conviction?
Well, from what I understand of the evidence and knowing, and again, saying I don't know what all the evidence is, but it sounds like he was found with the murder weapon and notes that are indicative of his guilt. So that seems pretty strong. It sounds like there may be some video and maybe even a witness to identify that he was in New York when the murder happened. So that would be pretty strong. Those to me seem like the key pieces of evidence.
What if you were on the defense? What would be your strongest argument?
The defense argument, again, I don't think this is a case where there's an affirmative argument for the defense. The defense's argument is this is the prosecution's burden. We know this is tragic that somebody was shot on the street at 5 o'clock in the morning. You may not like that. You may want to punish the person. But if the state cannot muster proof beyond a reasonable doubt, it cannot get a conviction.
Do you foresee the prosecution offering a plea deal, or is this a case that they're likely to take all the way to trial?
I don't know the answer to that. I think there's a strong possibility there might be plea negotiations, especially with this concept of opportunity for parole, no opportunity for parole floating in the air. I think that's something, with the possibility of the death penalty. I think because there's a divergence of potential penalties, there's room here for some discussion of a plea, but I don't know if that'll happen or not.
What challenges do lawyers face when selecting a jury for a high-profile case like this? I know we said there's 8 million people in New York. There's going to be tons of options. What exactly are both sides looking for?
Selecting a jury is the most underrated part of a jury trial. By the way, it's one of the most fun parts of a jury trial because you get to meet so many people. And I'm really serious. The people who are on the jury pools in New York City are extraordinary. They're just a great group of people. And most of them come in really wanting to do their civic duty, really wanting to hear a case. I know there are people who want to get out of jury duty. I know there are people who feel burdened, but most of them really want to do the work, really listen, and really doing a good job. So you need to identify knuckleheads. There will be some people in that jury room that just don't belong on a jury in any courtroom on any case, and you got to get rid of them. They're knuckleheads. You have to identify pure, clear prejudice one way or another and get rid of those people. If you have somebody who comes in and says, I've read about the case, the guy's obviously guilty, the defense has got to kick him. If you have someone who comes in, I've read about the case, sounds like he was framed, the prosecution has to kick him. You want people who are committed to hearing the evidence at trial and making a determination based on that evidence. And, lawyers have different rules about what do they want in terms of gender and race and socioeconomic background and all kinds of things. I'm a little old-fashioned. I think most of that is overstated. You can't tell enough about a person looking at those attributes. I like to know personally what they do for work. I like to have jurors that I can connect to, that I see something in their background that makes me think as a lawyer, I can speak to that person during this trial. I can come back to that person in closing argument and say something that I think I can connect to them, especially if I'm the defense, about how it's the government's burden to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
How long do you think a trial like this could last, considering the complexity of all the charges?
I think it'll last a month or two, is my very rough guess.
Really? And is that on the low end or the high end?
I think, I gave you a range of a month. So I think that's sort of the range I anticipate. One thing to keep in mind is in New York State court, court is closed at 5 o'clock. They take a lunch break for an hour to an hour and a half every day. Court is closed. There's no staying late in New York State court. So you don't get that many hours in a day. You get, some judges don't start till 10 o'clock because they got to do other stuff in the morning. So you get 2.5 hours in the day, 2.5 hours in the afternoon. You get 5 hours. You don't get an 8-hour day with a jury. So it flies by. You spend the first day opening arguments. Those take a long time. You have sidebars, you have evidence fights, you have conferences you have to have with the judge. And this case is going to have, I think, a lot of law enforcement and expert testimony. That's going to be cumbersome. So it'll take a while.
Lastly, if Luigi Mangione was convicted, what sentencing factors would come into play when determining whether he gets life in prison or potentially the death penalty?
Well, you look, for death penalty, you look to see if there are aggravating factors or mitigating factors. So some of the aggravating factors don't exist in this case. There's only one victim. It's not a particularly gruesome form of murder like we see in some cases. It's a gunshot to the back, which is less violent than a lot of others we see. But if the terrorism thing sticks with the jury, that's the kind of enhancement. If they conclude he did it to strike fear in the hearts of people who work in the insurance industry and otherwise, that could push them to an aggravating factor that would get you to the death penalty.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. This is a case that we will for sure be following.
Yep, good to see you.
Luigi Mangione is scheduled to return to federal court in Manhattan on March 19th. For Law and Crime, I'm Kennedy Walker.
260 miles.
It freaks me out when I cannot see myself on that stage and I was talking without the damn mic. Hold on. One minute. So, with this particular case, it covers several areas of studies. Okay, I already told you, right? Outside of jurisprudence, which is law, you have the philosophical, you have the psychological, and you have the social, right? And I want to say, because I'm thinking about all of the pre-law degrees that people usually attain before going law. And there is a tad bit of anthropology, right? Because when you start to look at the development of societies and different um, cultures and health insurance is something that was born out of evolution, right? Of course, it was born from a need, but it started, pretty much out of evolution, right? We had to evolve into a particular system that is supposed to be structured to help those that can afford it and those that who cannot afford it, right? And to give certain guarantees and protections and services and then you have your policies built in. Um, and the policy is pretty much a negotiated contract between you and the servicer, providing all them extra people, right? You insurance people, you healthcare people, you law people, um, you anybody that practices um, via a contract, and you provide services. Y'all understand what policy is, right? Okay, it doesn't necessarily means health insurance policy, whatever. It could be also the policy of the company or whatever. But anyway, so there is a bunch of levels, um, or areas, should I say, of study that is going on with this particular case, right? And it always is going to be that way when it comes to one of those cases, and this is just my opinion, where a person seemed to have become radicalized due to what they believe that is a social injustice, right? You know, issues around healthcare and immigration and other social services, policing, and all that type of stuff are triggers, for people. But you have to be careful, um, and when you question acts such as these, right? One, you have to ask, is it a policy? Okay, I mean, is it, what I mean by that, right? Companies have policies, and it is what it is. Now, you either like them or you don't. Okay, you either like them or you don't. So, what the next question, because I'm building a tree as I go, is, well, does that policy promote social injustice and oppression, right? So, that's when that second question is when you see the lawsuits, when you see acts such as these. And I'm not justifying it or whatever, because sometimes it can be a certain denial of a service, right? That will result in this type of behavior. Okay? That's not right. And although I may agree that policies should cover shit, hell, it should cover more, that's not the policy of that particular healthcare company. I think I've gotten it as low as I can get it. Break it down as low as I can break it. So if it isn't the policy of that particular company, and it does not promote injustice and oppression, then I have to be resolute in my head, one with my feelings, and I've taken all my medicine to say that I'm just going to be a dissatisfied customer. So to me, there is a fine line with shit like this, right? And I'm just assuming that this guy's guilty, okay? Because judging from the eyebrows, he is. But just because a company's policy doesn't perform the way you want it to perform or you think it should perform, it is not up to you to, okay, to take your displeasure as a customer and turn it into a a fucking moment, a devastating moment, right? To where these people is calling terrorism. Because if you read the code for terrorism, I mean, it may fit if the facts are there, if the evidence supports it. I think I have the indictments and stuff like that, but damn, I should have pulled it out. But that's on the other computer. You know, so when it comes, and then that's when you have to think, like, how is your psychology set up? Because the punishment for your feelings and understanding shouldn't be death. That is just not how it works. I mean, you know, and that's why you do see people, and they trying to do it the right way. They they take to the streets, they advocate whatever for social change, right? And healthcare is one of those social um, products, right? So they do take to the street for that and for police, and you know that is the right way to do it. If you and another thing, right? People need to understand and start really, really getting into their power. We don't do that. And I raise my hand, raise both hands. Okay, and tell you I'm one that don't do it all the time. Okay, that is to be honest, right? And the thing about it is, right? If we ever get connected, and what I mean by that, right? Just because something isn't important to me, but it's important to my neighbor, I might need to connect and then support that particular, that particular perceived injustice or oppression or something we just feel that isn't right with my neighbor, right? Because hey, people, um, we can, if we build that alliance and whatever, we can show a stronger force, right? And they'll listen to a whole bunch of people rather than a few, you know. But we definitely don't do that. We definitely don't do all that shit. Connect, yeah, connect. 'Cause most of us don't even know our neighbor's name, honey. I raised both my hands with that, and I knew a couple of them, but that one that always, he seemed to have a problem with me. I think he had a problem with women or black women or something. I remember I told you about the one that spit at me when we were supposed to go into the little tent for the New Year's Eve party. Couldn't make it in. Cause that motherfucker spit at my direction, and I know. Now, I don't know. I think he was just trying to make it plain in the optics of whatever. You know what I'm saying, baby? And old button up. I told you all I felt was my hair. All I felt was my hair, baby. And when I look, honey, it was a whole goddamn arm coming across my back to get to that man. It was on and popping. Yeah. But a lot of times, right, we don't even know that issue exists because one, we don't listen to others, we don't listen to our neighbors, we don't listen to shit, right? So therefore, we don't even know what to connect and fight for, whatever. But we got to understand our power, where our power lies. When it comes to advocacy. Okay, so right now, well, just right now, it's all the time. Our power lies in our wallet, in our vote, and in our voices. And I probably got that in the right order. Yes, and I'm writing this down because guess what? Y'all know I be doing other shit. And this sounds like a good speech. This sounds like a good speech or something. When I have to update my materials, I can add this in, girl. See, I'm trying to tell you, I make it work. You hear me? I make it work with the resources I have. You understand? There's a method to my madness. Listen. Do not play. Listen. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your mind. I'm trying to tell you that. Don't do that. Uh-uh. Yeah, it sounds like a good goddamn speech. And also, I have people that I have to teach. And sometimes, listen, teaching goes beyond the text. Understand that. So, but, and if we make a stand, right? And I was, and as long as I've been fooling around with politics, all this extra shit, whatever. I've always never been a radical about advocacy, right? Not saying that I sit back and always accept the response and results and shit. I just, I just, um, cause I just know what's behind the door. That that's you can get your blood pressure up and shit like that, but the answer is going to be a very, very polished no, or we're working on it. You understand what I'm saying? And because I will study the psychology of the minds and the philosophy and all the type of other people that's telling me no and all that type of shit like that, I get it. You understand what I'm saying? So I already know. Okay. Well, can't fight like that. And then when you look around, you have everybody that's as complacent and accepting, just like me. They're not finna, be a Luigi without the gun, okay? They're not finna do all of that because probably they understand, how polished and who was telling you the no. Understand what I'm saying? Those of y'all that have been in the room, but y'all know the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all know the type of people I'm dealing with. And I'm always gonna be the one to speak out and go on the record. But when there are times when I know that I can tie up something, I do. Meaning, I ain't doing this until I get that. Understand me. Understand that. However, all the time you're not in that type of environment. You understand? You're not in that type of environment. When you know you got somebody on the ropes, let me tell you something. I had one company because I am so like that. One company I contracted with, because sometimes when I say work for, it's usually most time it's contracted with. So, but because of the relationships, it's pretty much like work for or work with, right? But where the company they gonna get my black ass. They came up with something called it was in theory, not written. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Meaning, me Angie is the only one that knows how to do this. The only one that this and the only contact. The only blah blah. No, I was the only one. And when they figured out that I had the power, they was like, okay, we got to get some more. But guess who gonna have to train them? Voila. Okay. So we have to come up with another way to advocate. We need to come up with a way very fast. Okay, because we have primaries. We have look at the domains politics primaries, and we also have um, the presidential elections, and we're gonna have to start asking for some because they're taking our votes for granted. They are going on and about their day knowing that they ain't got to do shit but lie and all types. You understand what I'm saying? And promise and never go through with. I do the fake out like Trump, the chump did on y'all ass. And and shout out to y'all, right? Because I ain't never been um so introduced to so much black shit in my life, right? And when I say that, I did 14 years in the hood, and of course I've been black all my life, duh. But what I'm saying is, I wasn't all the time. I wasn't raised black, and so I had to go out to find black shit. Now my mom, she did more black shit than well, my mom and my aunt did more black shit than any of my aunts and uncles and most of my cousins and shit, right? But but like my mom used to have a good time, child, even when I was a little kid. But anyway, you you I've I know about like this woke stuff and some of the leaders, some of these speakers and stuff like that, y'all be speaking about a doctor this, doctor that, or whatever. I ain't know about them people until I landed on whatever planet this is. I know nothing about them people. Nothing. Pretty much the only HBCU I knew, this is a joke, because of course I know about other HBCU, but it was Howard. Spelman, Morehouse. Which is the band Grambling, and of course the ones in Florida. Some of that, it could be by teaching, it could be by parenting, it could be by my choice, but whatever it was, it is what it is. I don't know what you want me to do. So, but I could, learn about a lot of this woke shit and all these men with this crazy shit about the women is in some kind of position below them and beneath them and all that extra shit, whatever. I learned that from this shit. Trust and believe me. Okay? So, but that's a positive, right? Because now I'm looking, now I'm seeing what all this shit done happened. There's a reason about some of this woke shit. Now I ain't gonna never be with all this and a woman comes to this place and got to be some all that extra shit. That's not me. That's just something I overheard. But something I had to take a second look at is some of this woke shit and all this and what's going on. All this black power shit. But I am going to look at it from a whole bunch of levels, right? Not only just functional. There's a whole bunch of levels that I'm going to look at and explore and study it and get it together. And we got a problem. We got a problem on the horizon. We should never get caught like this. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, ever again. Okay? Where Trump would be the motherfucking answer. Huh? I'm trying to tell you, I've been sitting up here working on master or plans, baby, and I had to share that shit by yay with quiet and dark for a minute, because when I go quiet and dark or whatever, honey, I'm doing a couple things, baby, working on something. As y'all heard my cousin say, my cousin Angie keep her a plan to keep some money in her hand. You understand that? Okay, but we got caught slipping, and from both parties. One party out there, we were always gonna be there because we look more like them, and they could connect with us, whatever. And the other party used use that against us. It's crazy. So in the end, we just getting used by both sides, right? And I wish somebody would pick up on that and say, hey, uh uh. I wish that this whole situation um, create a Malcolm and a Martin, and probably one of them doctor people I always hear y'all talk about, combine them all together and get some leadership out here, right? And it doesn't have to be leadership just for black people. It's just leadership for the people that's sick and tired of being sick and tired. And maybe we won't have any of this type of radicalized type behavior going on in this world, because that's the worst result from people being tired of bullshit. And I get it. I never really looked at this type of shit, whatever, because it just didn't. And I went in that particular lane where you had to be looking at this type of stuff and looking at egg prices and worrying about the insurance and all this extra shit. And the police ain't gonna do you right and all this extra shit. No, 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 no. I heard about it. I knew about it. I agree that it wasn't right or whatever, but seeing that it's a motherfucking epidemic, a pandemic and shit. The fuck? Like, that's not right. That's not right. And this type of shit is going to happen. Because we got the numbers. You just have to convince motherfuckers like me that, hey, the work gonna be done, and everybody pulling together can get it done. Yeah, I was all for that goddamn shutdown that happened with the black people holding they wallets and shit. I say we do it for 30 days. I don't give a shit. We can get it done. You understand what I'm saying? Because I knew it. I took it a long time ago before any of this took place. That when people start suing, that's when you're gonna start affecting some shit. And some people, when people start taking them wrongs to their courthouse, that's when you're gonna start affecting some shit. That's when companies start, one lawsuit here and there, yeah, they can afford that. But several lawsuits, it's we just got to pull this shit together. You know, hell, and it's so crazy. And I thought about this a long time ago. We need to get some kind of, I don't want to call it a contract. I really want to call it, well, yeah, contract agreement, something to where we start negotiating and 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 doing shit a little smarter, right? Like I always say, play that game. I'm not talking about a code. I'm not talking about a particular. I'm talking about the person that holds the power, the decision maker, the owner, whoever that may be. You know damn well from what I heard. Because me in particular, I've never had a procedure, nothing rejected by the healthcare. I've never had that. So I don't know anything about that. Of course, personally for me. But I've heard that there's been a lot of people dying and shit with it. I was like, my mouth was shut. I was like, because I've always been on the other end of it. There's a whole with major companies or whatever. There's not just one lawyer. There's a whole legal team. Each of us do something different. So for that type of litigation or whatever, that's a whole. That's usually attorneys that have been defense attorneys for criminal law stuff like that. That's who they have sent up in those offices and whatever. My shit is contraction or wording on company policies and stuff like that to make sure that something don't break the law. Something in the contract is consistent with the law. Then my hands are up. I ain't got nothing to do with it after that. They they have lawyers in house, lawyers on standby, on contract. I mean, them heavy hitters and stuff like that that are very, 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 very shrewd negotiators when it comes to corporate law and things of that nature. You tell your guy you think you're involved watching a whole murder case. Those settlements, all that shit is straight, you know. Ugh, it's a lot going on. So healthcare is an old stomping ground, but it's still a stomping ground I somewhat remember, right? And I definitely don't agree with what this dude did. But there are a lot of people that, as you heard, that attorney was reading some of the comments that they were like, some of them like, yeah, they were glad he did it, what have you, right? Those type of people are psychology and philosophy is all thrown off. Them motherfuckers crazy. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have no respect for the law. Well, and if they're not crazy, their understanding is off. But society have helped with that misunderstanding. Just by the way it conducts itself. So, these leaders of the media, because those people can get this shit done faster than you and I and anybody else. When I mean leaders of the media, I'm talking about those, independent thinkers or journalists or speakers or whatever that be showing up on CNN and have they own shit online and all this type of shit, whatever. They can get it done quicker than us. You got X that let you do damn near anything over there and whatever. Utilize that platform, all these different platforms to get a message out that, hey, we got to be smarter with our wallet, our vote, and our voices, right? Got to be smarter with that. Because it's that all, in my opinion, equals up to advocacy. You have to, because if not, tragedies like this is the result. This is the result. You know? Then surely America don't want no more of this shit. Because one time isn't enough and they don't understand, right? But if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what that boy used to say or whatever. I could have sworn I saw that boy, saw them showing clips of that boy, right, and arguing about something, and, and, and then something came out, but that healthcare, I'm not sure. So I don't want to speak, but something came out about that shit, and it was, it could serve as a reason as to why what happened, right? But it's definitely wasn't the correct response to our broken systems, our broken structures, And somebody needs to put some shit together quick and start putting, the powers that be on notice that, listen, we're going to have to do something up. Y'all going to have to give us a better offer. I'm not just talking about black folk, because I'm pretty sure insurance policies isn't written specific to black people and to white folk. It's not written that way. But when I heard the services people were getting denied and all this type of shit and all this, but yet, and no shade, I heard just listening, looking at some of that shit I be watching, where they snatching people wigs, where people are that Medicaid will pay for your transition. Huh? What the fuck? Yeah, get into it. I ain't lying. I am not lying. I mean, I don't know if they calling it a medical necessity, or I don't know. But I would also argue that a person that needs an abortion or whatever, that's medically a necessity too. That's a need. Like, what the fuck? That is crazy. That whole comparison right there deals with several areas of study. The same ones I just spoke about with this particular dude, right? That's crazy to me. And here again, honey, trust and believe. When it comes to understanding the future, like I said, moons ago, you got to understand the past. If you want to understand anything, you got to research it and study it. You got to know what to ask, where to go. If not, you're gonna be sound like you just, woke up and it was 2025. Some people sound like that. I mean, I heard some shit, baby. Listen, I be like, hmm? And how old are you? Did you just arrive here on Earth in 2025? I must have asking you the A and O question. See if you can get a 10 out of 10 like Wendy Williams bragged about. Because it don't make no sense. And now, granted, some people are ignorant and illiterate by a handicap, right? By by being a slow learning development person. SLD. That's what we used to call it in Florida. SLD. That's what department you in. They be the main ones that get mad at the people that don't seem to have those type of deficiencies and defect defects, right? And be mad and starting shit. Like, that's the only thing they know how to do. I was like, ooh, I know you ain't gonna ever get above 100 on the IQ test. Shit, the fuck? Don't tell us nothing about the world no more. No more. Then you have some people you can listen to for hours. They seem like they've been on the earth for a minute. They know what's going on in the world. They you know, they understand. But you know, I'm like, okay, that's what's up. But then you switch the motherfucking channel, click on some shit you motherfuckers send people because y'all don't laugh. Now you want me to laugh. And I'll be like, oh God, I need a ibuprofen. I need a damn a lead, a Advil, a goody powder. Shit, my head hurt. I'm like, who the fuck? Child Shibuki. Take 2 hours to read a 3 paragraph article. What? Uh-uh. Hell no. That's what I'm telling y'all. Be careful who y'all goddamn, back and forth and converse with and shit. Because them motherfuckers, you fuck around, them people, you don't put them people on your level. That's what you do. You got them people in your status. Yeah. Um, Tell you not a word of a lie. Mm-mm. And granted, you have some people that have never graduated the traditional way, right? But they sound like they know that they landed in. They just ain't land on in 2025. They know it was 2024, 2023, 2022, and it was a build up to 2025. Like, huh? Yeah, it's crazy. I'm telling you, it is crazy. So you have to avoid all of that. And you have to, keep your head straight in the game because there's a lot going on. You fuck around and okay, you keep putting with them people in Washington because you people used to say they didn't care nothing about you. You got administration and they don't give a damn nothing about you. And yet we got people that voted for this motherfucker who brainwashed themselves to think that this motherfucker, out of all the motherfuckers that we done had, that we could have voted for whatever, that this motherfucker care about people. And another thing, the Democrats just fucked it all up. And reasons being in each party does this, but they'll fuck it up or whatever by just walking around blind and oblivious to the nation's need and shit like that, and what people saying or whatever. They too far up that they don't hear what the other people are saying, right? Or you so far removed, and that's what happens to me a lot of times. I be so far removed from shit, I don't be knowing what the fuck going on. Okay, but and that's a bad way to be. So you be like, huh? What? I'm trying to tell you, I don't be knowing. But when you have people that are so far from your ass and us, the people at the bottom. You're not gonna bend down and listen to what's going on, whatever. Not going in the streets and the crowds and having like more of a town hall type setting and stuff like that where somebody's asking. No, he's doing campaign trails and shit. He's in, and another thing, right? Each style of campaigning and the fashion that they do it in is set up for a certain reason. The town halls, and I don't care how many people are there, because you can always have a crowd like that and turn around because you got stage people behind you and turn around and ask a question, answer a question from somebody in the audience in that staging area back there, right? You can do that. See, I've always been one of those type of hybrid type of um, event person or whatever you want, whatever I was working with, because I can look at that and say, okay, well, shit, this person will always have a huge number of people. But, like, do they really always want to come and not get their concerns, addressed and stuff like that? No. I would definitely have some people in the, take some questions from the audience. Or when he sat down, I think it was with Tucker Carlson talking about Trump and him, well, Trump did all the talking. But I've seen when he's gone to other places because he got a large crowd and somebody's asking him questions. Well, those questions aren't really from the crowd. It's um, really from the political party, right? Or maybe that host that has some questions or whatever, right? And sometimes they have crowd questions, but what I'm saying is when you have those town halls or when you have those intimate or have it like in an intimate uh, like an intimate type setup, that way you can get some questions from the crowd or whatever, you know. Like I loved the shit when when Obama was had to turn black for about 2 minutes. With him and Mitt Romney, he said, "Go ahead, Governor, go ahead." When Mitt Romney was making all them allegations, y'all remember that when that was I think that was a town hall or something. That was a debate. But even the style of it, you've seen them those where they get to walk around or whatever, and you've seen where they sitting at a table like with Biden and then when Biden was on his shit, baby, when he was getting Paul Ryan, honey. Some of you motherfuckers don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But was getting Paul Ryan and and had Paul Ryan drinking all that goddamn water. I'm like, yes, get it. And Joseph kept grinning. And sometimes you can bully in a symbolic way. You understand what I'm saying? You can be like, just look at him. Like you know, I'm doing it behind the scene. But Joe Biden had that smile, like and saying, "Let me school you, let me do you in right now, a wonder boy. Let me put you up on game, player." You know, but those um I think that was like probably my last exciting time when, but before, I mean, that was exciting then, and then the Hillary era, that was more about determination and focus and principle, and this just makes sense right now. You know what I'm saying? So it was less of the adulation and, yeah, get his ass. When that came about. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. So by the time Hillary came back again, it was more on the, okay, focus. Let's, we knew that she was going to govern differently from Obama. We know that some of it was going to be an extension of, but yeah, she. And this is a question I don't understand, because it makes sense, but a lot of times with a lot of this shit, it makes sense to do, but somehow the results aren't going to be in your favor. And I often wonder why Obama didn't make Hillary his vice president. I'm thinking, because I don't know, I'm not. It's a science to all that. I mean, them people that they have years of experience in studying political science and all that type of stuff, they know all this type of shit. I just don't know. I'm just looking at it in that regard. I am, like, okay, like, why? Because it makes sense to me. I don't understand why Obama didn't put Hillary as his vice president. That way, she could be his. She can count on. You know what I'm saying? Be set up real nice to be the president after his 8 years, right? I just don't understand. I never could understand. He gave her a job. But damn. And then I didn't understand why Hillary didn't make Bernie her vice president. I don't understand none of that. I'm like, shit. Because I'm thinking, hell, you see the support Bernie got, added it with you, and then you know how Bernie, I believe, I know Hillary thinks about us. I know Bernie cares about us, right? I just know that. Shit. Are you serious? Like, what's somebody need to explain that to me. I'm gonna ask somebody that is deeply, that's gonna be have to be one of them people that be on them shows and shit. I just, I'm gonna ask that question. Like, why? Why that don't happen? I'm gonna put that on the wall. I'm gonna see if anybody could give me the answer. That would seem to be the ideal thing to do. But yet, nothing, honey. And I always say it's never my way. They working against me. I want it my way. They're working against my black ass. But yeah, that's what I want. That would be. I mean, would they say no? Or I don't understand. Were they even consider? A lot of times they ain't even on the list of considerations and shit. I don't know, child. I don't know. Sometimes we be making it too hard for ourselves, right? Like, shit. That's what I want to know. Why you ain't give Hillary that job as your VP? Now, I love Joe, don't get me wrong. But, I love my girl. Why you ain't give Hillary that job as a VP? And then, come on, why, uh, And it seemed like to me, Joe got it right. He gave Kamala the job as his VP because he know that would bring in, that would kind of, because he got that little history, but whatever he did on that one of them bills with uh, crime bill or something like that when it comes to black people ever. And then but then I can't really say that because Kamala got a little history like that, but that's over there in California. I don't know. But anyway, trust me, they don't just pick the VPs and shit like that just because they are the, just the best candidate. It be their favorability and their policy and stuff like that, right? Shit. But anyway, let me get off here. But yeah, so that Luigi Mangione dude, I'm assuming he did it. That's why I could never do high crimes and shit like that. The closest I came, baby, was white collar. That's in a very, very, very um um. It's in an area the okay in high crime in the area I was in, right, which was um one of many that was dealing with internet crimes, right? Understand the reason why I know I have an extensive level of investigation and knowledge stuff like that because when you are trying to catch some fool on the internet, you can't always catch them. So the prosecutions of them is going to be very, it's going to be here and there. If you look at it, it's going to be here and there, right? Because you get a hold to them and then they slip off. You get a hold to them, they slip off, right up, right. So when you actually pin them down, get them under indictment, all that type of stuff, it's just it don't happen all the time, right? But the level of time, the amount of time you take to investigate that and studying then the behaviors and the trends and the this and the that and whatever, and then you got to go undercover and all of that, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So you have you got way more time investigating and going undercover and all that's a part of the whole spiel. Um, but then that again that's a lot of hours. So you get in there in the trenches or whatever to help your people, help your team, help whatever, and then hopefully you will catch this motherfucker, right? So you got a lot of time at that and less time in getting someone, and they're gonna take a deal. Trust and believe they're gonna take a deal. They don't wanna. It's a lot going on with that. They want to stay where they are. It's a lot going on with that. But anyway, hold on for 1 minute. I use the restroom real quick. Okay. So, but anyway, um, yeah, you spend a hell of a lot of time. Oh my God, just watching because the people don't show up and say, "Hey, my real name is Roger Johnson. I always perform some type of cybercrime. This is how I do it. This is how I'm able to do it," and so on and so forth, right? And those are questions that we have to ask, not them. We ask them, but we ask ourselves. It's complicated. Just don't worry about it. But I'm just saying, but you have to study all of that. You gotta sit there and pay attention. Sometimes when and realize that sometimes the majority of the time, right? They don't do it alone. So before they hook up with someone else, they gonna verify. They gonna dox that motherfucker and make sure that they are a criminal too. I won't get into much into a lot of, but you have agents and shit that um have a okay. The government does hire people, criminals, especially in white collar and internet crimes, that um, was a criminal like that, right? Yeah, they got that. That's a special asset. That's a special resource because they answer all them questions. They tell you they know everything. They know how to spot one, whatever, right? They also are very valuable because they already have a background out there. So when they get doxxed, the motherfucker that's looking to work with that person say, hey, okay, I got me, somebody that knock them down, right? And then, and of course you got some of us, they have to make a fake background and stuff like that for us, but just put it out there. They put it they put it in these different areas of the internet to where, you know, and it's just trust and believe what I'm talking about. So these people hook up with these people because a lot of this shit, right? It requires them sending packages and shit to the U.S., mail and packages and all kinds of shit, tools to these motherfuckers use to not to to get that money, right? So they need people. That's why you have all them Nigerians and people from the UK and whatever establishing relationships and shit like that with people in the US because they need somebody, whatever, a fake apartment, all that type of shit to knock to handle what they need to handle. Where somebody in America got to go and lease that apartment, they motherfucking ass can do it from wherever they are. And again, they don't like to travel like that because of the risk of getting what caught, right? Because you don't know when your ass is on the list, you know. A lot of times we kind of flag shit, and everybody don't go on America's most, the America's Most Wanted flyers and shit, on that's posted up and on the website for the FBI. That a lot of times they get flagged because if you know your ass is wanted, You ain't gonna motherfucking take the plane, the boat, however. Play more games in the NBA. Catch your bitch ass. But, you know, it's very fun trying to out shit somebody. Motherfuckers that think they got it on lock, right? My daughter told me I'm just not that excited like catching people like you be. Because I'm trying to tell you that time when child, before she went off to college after she turned 18, and then she didn't have no school to go to. So, and what I mean, she didn't have no school to go to prior to that, but prior to her turning 18, because she had done, when you advance like that in school, you have all them classes, take all them classes, them advanced classes and shit like that. You don't have any classes or maybe a few in your senior year. Like my little cousin too, she didn't have any classes, so she went to college, right? And that's how she was able to graduate with a 2-year degree, like her big cousin me. But anyway, so you you understand what I'm saying? But I'm just laughing at some of the shit. So you spend more time investigating and going on and doing all that type of shit rather than indicting and shit like that. Because first you got to catch the motherfuckers, and I'm telling you, they slippery like Vaseline. They slippery, honey. Anyway, but that's also the fun part. Mhm. And I heard, I think Court TV say that lady supposed to, what the girl name is? Lori, honey, is supposed to be in court. I think tomorrow. That girl, yeah, she gonna. I just want to know how she gonna. But she didn't do half bad on the rules of evidence. She didn't do half bad though. I gotta give it up to her because I mean that hearsay and whatever that Stacey, she was even slow to the response. Like, bitch, oh my goodness. Anyway, I was almost late. I was late getting up this morning because for some reason I don't know why I didn't know that today was I didn't know yesterday was Sunday, so I didn't set my uh, clock right. It just so happened. Of course, when your ass change times, you have to get up. Your body start getting um, accustomed to this, waking up on a certain time. I got up and oh Lord, I ain't even set up. I hurried up. So I was behind. I didn't know I don't know what happened today in the news, but anyway.
You want to support me? Go to me.
Cool. But yeah, I want to see when these people come
space station
back.
to drag in, and then the crew on the international.
When the people supposed to come back from from being trapped up there in outer space, child. See, I hate when we be delaying and messing around and shit, and now it's gonna seem like Trump is the one that really brought them back, and I guess to a degree he is, but I don't know. It's just a big argument behind that. I wish I could really get down to exactly who the hell is bringing these people back. Who the hell is responsible for this? They talking about Elon, and I guess you have to give them credit, right? Because I guess it was Elon and his situation, whatever, that brought them back. Seemed like to me, Trump, Biden could have found a comparable means or let Elon do it from before. I don't know what happened, and I don't know how long, but didn't I put something up there? This is what happened when you don't read all your shit. And I put something up there that said that those people that was already scheduled to come for something. I find out because, uh, but I told y'all I love that damn them astronauts and shit. I don't know why. I always loved science, space, and physical science and all of that. Ooh, always. But I'm gonna find out what is going on. And who I'm gonna go back to what I was doing before old Mr. Eyebrows, Killer Eyebrows came on my radar. Child, I am trying to figure some. I'm so shallow, Lord have mercy. I got to work out of this. Because if I told y'all the amount of the number of things that I came up with first and then seeing somebody else do it, or the amount of times I've come up with something, set it all up, whatever, and passed it off. And it was one person that I did that with, and they ain't even say thank you. That's when I started putting in a contractual amount, a percentage. Got me fucked up. How about that? I'm too nice. I am too nice, Karen, and just want everybody to, everybody to be okay and raise up and whatever. Because in my experience, and thanks to my people picking process, right? When one of us is okay or whatever, usually they make sure everybody, everybody pretty good, right? If it comes to that or whatever, you know. But then you run into some people that you wouldn't typically have in your circle or whatever, and you hand them a goddamn fucking master plan. They eventually fuck it up, but two, they don't say thank you. And not that I am a person that says, hey, recognize me for my hard work. When they don't do that, like, what the fuck? Like, huh? Oh, I'm gonna tell you, baby. Now I'm getting mad. And let me tell you what this was really happened because this was like a big kind of big situation, and it was more than myself involved. When when the new people came in, and the person started treating us, the old people, like shit. Oh no, baby. Oh no. Now wait a minute. Oh, now wait a minute. You got me fucked up. So yeah, that right there. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I got to stop being so shy. I stop being, oh my God, what if it don't work? Like, me, that perfection shit or whatever. That's why it be so, but like when I have a partner, something like that, I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay, because I can, it's just a lot, dog. I got a lot going on. I'm trying to get a lot going on, which I just got to get it together. But that's why when, like with University of Florida, and I almost got my name and Credit Card Man, and some of the others, um, it was easy, right? They got a big mouth. They got a personality be to lead me up in the front, whatever. And they never ever make me feel no other kind of way but what I was, right? If I was the mastermind behind it, then, and I ain't saying like personally going out and saying, oh, she's a mastermind behind it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that some people who you put on or you give the plan to or give the keys to, they leave your ass in the motherfucking driveway. Don't even think about your ass or nothing in no form or fashion. Not monetarily, not fucking congratulate nothing. Be like, what the fuck? And then start acting funny. Oh, well, huh? Oh, no, 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 no. That ain't gonna work out. And then here's the thing, right? When you leave, when you exit out the thing, that's when it dies. Because they don't know how to keep it going. Then they got to come back, come back, come back. And be like, uh-uh. Uh-uh. The door is closed. In my Nene Leak's voice. Uh-uh. I ain't helping that. You got it, player. Because when it's yours, you the creator, you the goddamn construction worker, you the model, you the what, you the just you. Huh? And baby, he even tried to get, and y'all, and some of this conversation y'all heard, but y'all just didn't know what it was. And because I don't speak bad on people, whatever, even though you burn, I don't do that. I'll just leave you the fuck alone. That's all I do. I blind you. And in Jacksonville, that means blind you with ass. Meaning you're gonna see me I'm walking away. Blind you with ass. I'm gonna blind you. That's what I'm gonna do. So, um, then I mean, that's what I'm saying, all that bullshit. And they come back, come back, come back. Yeah, and well, let me tell you what. So what he did was he even tried to get a friend of mine who I brought around to help in some of the shit I was doing. Yeah. Motherfucker. Mm-mm. I'm flashing y'all. Oh, y'all heard somebody. Y'all heard who I'm talking about, but I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna open my goddamn mouth. Yes, honey. And very strategic with it. But always got you on the invites and the flyers and the invite list and all this extra shit, whatever. Yeah. But that's one thing about me. I have no problem watching you crash and burn, motherfucker. How about that? Yeah. I mean, and a lot of times, I mean, it's I tell you how to do whatever. Cause that don't. I'm just not like that. I'm just not selfish in that type of way. And another reason is shit. I be loving a partner. It's not in crime, but I call it like a partner in crime. Where we, whatever. But this some motherfuckers think they can run off with the shit. And you don't have to run, I'm gonna give it to you. But don't act brand new. Because I'm giving you the final product. You don't have the motherfucking goddamn the intel and the inside, the connection. You don't have that part. So how the fuck you think you can just run with it? Just like a goddamn bird with a broken wing. You crazy? The fuck wrong with you? I'm having a flashback. Oh, motherfucker. Hell no. Who does that? I'm gonna tell you who do it. Niggas. Niggas. That's why I fuck with them. Like, I fuck with polished black people. Or they ain't polished or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. They don't even be as ignorant as my ass. They listen to elevator music and all of that. They don't look at shows where they snatch the wigs off people's head and shit. They don't go in the hoods and all of that. They don't do none of that. Okay? So, and be surprised when I do it. They be shocked. But yeah, who does that? So I gotta, I can't be dependent upon people. And I tried to make my child my partner. Oh Lord, oh Lord, child. Don't worry about it. I know what to do. I just, cause I did, Lord, was be, send her places or whatever that I can't make it or whatever, especially after I started with this um, swelling and shit above the face and the head and all this extra shit, whatever. She was like, Ma, they don't want me, they want you. I said, did anybody tell you that? You have to learn how to make your own name or your own, and make your presence be, recognized as just as good. Ain't nobody tell you that they ain't checking for you. You can do it. You only got one job. Go and if called upon or recognized or then say a few words. Damn, but mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope. Well, I got somebody else in mind. Trust and believe, and it's somebody I can trust. My cousin. Yes, honey. And he be with the shits, okay? He be with the program. Okay? So I ain't worried about it. I think he'll be a good one. Baby, I be around here lollygagging. That man, shit, I got to get in session, poop, whatever. Plus, I'm gonna have a little fun. But I'm gonna always include my people. We're gonna always let's always do that. Yeah, I get that motherfucker limited role. Cause sometimes and he got that takeover spirit too. He come in and then try to, take over and shit. He got baby. Woo! Woo! Let me get off here before I start talking. and leading guide you to his website and his situations and shit. Try. Just I mean, I'm fucked up so much shit, baby. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. And then I was getting hammered It's because he got a bad name. How he got a bad name? The way he do things in business. That's not me. I handle my shit like a white woman. Huh? Like white people. I don't be late. I don't be this. I don't be that. I don't be telling people one thing that's another. I don't, I know how to set up budget. And I do all of that. I showed them. And if you run an organization where there's no child left behind, I'm going to tell you this right now. You better stay on top of your funding, meaning your sources. Make sure you, well, I don't know about now, but explore how to get them grants and shit, right? Or have connect with somebody that knows how to get it. Two, keep a year-round fundraiser. Do not do a per event fundraiser. Do year-round. And three, if just say if you have a group of 20 people, right? And just say that 10 of those people or children or whatever are can't, won't be able to afford it, whatever. Some people are very hard and a bunch of fucking assholes and say, well, you just can't go. Don't do. And okay, well, I can tell you what to do, but here's how to budget for it. If there's 10 people that can pay, and you know they can pay, and 10 people that can't, take the amount of that adventure or event or whatever the fuck is going on that y'all trying to go to, and divide the cost amongst those 10 people. Very simple math. But be honest with the people as to what you're doing. Tell the people that's just how you are, that's your vision or whatever. And make sure you be one of them people that is kicking in, contributing to the event. Don't put it all on them 10 people. Make sure you contributing to your own event or adventure in some way. It's very simple. They was doing it per person, child, and that's why they operated in the red. Oh my god! Let me get off here. I'm having a meltdown every time I talk about it. Ooh, ooh, I want to goddamn line it up. I mean, getting to the door. Well, Miss Angie, can you do this and whatever? Suppose I ain't have it on me. All that last minute ass shit. Good baby, let me get up here. I'm trying to tell you, I'm tweaking. My eyes blanking, I'm stuttering and shit. I'm getting upset. That's why I don't like niggas. See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't have time for no shit like that. Hell, like, and then I came to that organization was already established, and I brought in all kind of people. I was funding that shit. Don't let me get nobody on. Don't let me get the people on the line. They'll tell you. Don't play with me. I know everybody. If I don't know him, I know somebody that know the motherfuckers can get it in and get it done. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Last minute ass shit. No minute ass shit. You to the door. I'm talking about we done been to the hotels. And of course, you know my crowd. We not just, sleeping at the travel lodge, right? Unless they done converted it to something. We're just not doing that, right? And now I just had to get not really give that understanding because they was they like to sleep good too, but sometimes, child. But anyway, we done got to the hotel, to the counter, check in, look at me, and say, Miss Ann, do you mind us taking your room and putting some people in it? Huh? Or you being responsible for, how you got adults with disabilities and stuff like that, whatever, which I don't mind, whatever. But again, I told you that I go like if I'm going somewhere, if I'm doing some whatever. I've never been on like a vacation outside. I'm talking about my family vacation somewhere. I'm talking about one I take my ass on. Like you see people vacation where there is. So when I got events and this and that and whatever, I use those as my vacations, my little mini getaways and whatever. I got staycate. I go to other people's house and sleep in a new bed and whatever. Just to get away from, to give myself some sense of motherfucking vacation. Sometimes, a lot of times, at these people's house, it is a sense of vacation because they got a lot going on. Okay, and we having fun, and they got all kinds of shit over there, right? You know, I don't have no pool. They got a pool and all kinds of extra shit, right? So I I use those as my little vacation and stuff like that. So of course I want the room that I paid for. Well, they ain't chipping in on my room. They want my room and put people in there with me. I'm like, huh? What kind of nigga shit is this? Chat, don't get me started by these horror stories. I'm like, what is going on? Y'all not budgeting right? Well, what's going on? Because most people have a heart. Most people understand it. There are some that don't, but most people have a heart. Most people that don't, and some people that don't. They'll understand that. Hey, we got y'all gonna have to pay a little bit more because of this is my vision. This is how my organization is set up. This is the reason why it was set up. It was set up to deal with um, a portion of it was set up to deal with underprivileged and stuff like that. This is why I travel all over America, you know, doing clinics and camps and shit, for these reasons, right? People get that. People understand that. People also understand that that is their way to contribute to the cause. The problem comes in when you have people that don't want to do that, right? And that's fine. You can't make nobody do that. That's fine. You can't make nobody do that, and so at that point, they can either get with the program, stay, and understand that that's what it is, or go elsewhere, right? The only thing they used to had me looking crazy was, okay, I understand that I'm talking to the people that couldn't afford it, but wanted to go. Check this out. Say by niggas. I said, well, Here's an opportunity. I set up fundraisers because my organization does, my charity do it. Fundraisers through Avon, what the people used to be, home interior, a whole bunch of other motherfuckers, right? You sell this stuff, right? You'll make some to fund your own trip and maybe some in your goddamn pocket. How about that? These sorry, lazy motherfuckers didn't even want to do that. Some of them. I ain't gonna say all of them, but some of them. You had people that could afford the event or whatever. Paying, we paying our own shit and our own extra shit, that we want to do it whenever we get there, whatever. As well as the budget is adjusted a little higher to accommodate those that can't, and they don't want to help on their motherfucking cost. Baby, and would sit up there and be like, I ain't got it. Just ignorant ass motherfuckers. But then if somebody put their foot down, but here's the thing, right? They always knew that if they show up, somebody's gonna slide over and let their ass in and get their luggage in there. The fuck? One thing I didn't like. Now this was crazy, right? Because again, right? You had these meetings, right? And I, what was I? This was a weekend where I didn't go, or I wasn't scheduled to go or something. It was something, but wasn't there. But one, and now this looked bad. And see, this is I don't like. See, this is where, and this person I'm talking about would do shit, ain't thinking, not giving a fuck about the optics. Shit, nigga, to do right. And I'm trying to tell you, he pretty much helped cemented the coffin when it comes to dealing with niggas. So, but one of the people that couldn't go, and this was a kids event. One of the people that never really have, and a lot of times it was more kid events, but then there was disabled events, and there was adult events, or whatever. But we had a lot going on. The kid didn't have him, whatever. Sometimes I done paid for them. Sometimes, just a lot of shit. And it was two of them. So one of the little girl didn't pay and didn't have this whatever. But her mama gave her money to spend. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Baby, baby. That kid pulled out that money to spend, and they took the money. Like, to say, well, you don't have the money to pay your accommodations on this trip, but you got money to spend? Oh, baby. They mama ain't called him. They mama called me. Okay. And then and then she called him and cussed. Oh my, it was terrible. I'm trying to explain to him, you don't do that. Well, to them, all of them that was down there, you don't do that. Are you insane? Well, you never paid attention. Always got this and that. I'm like, that's the same motherfucking lady who I paid $300 for them to go. And she was supposed to pay me my motherfucking money. Never did have the nerve to get married and show me the motherfucking book from the wedding, child. Huh? Showed me the book from the wedding. Had the nerve to. And I'm looking at this bitch. Do you know you owe me $300? Let me tell you how it came up. It came up when all hell broke loose in Florida. Of course, yours truly was involved. She hadn't turned on him and the organization. And I had to remember, and of course, those who comes with the organization, they're gonna try us or try people. You know how that works. And they had created an organization similar because they felt like they can do it better. And I had to remind her, bitch, you talking all that shit to me, and you owe me $300. The fuck? Now, what hands you want to throw? And I guess, and this don't always happen because if you know me, you know me. But you always have some ignorant ass nigga. Oh, I can't believe you act this way. You a lawyer. You act, bitch. Fuck that. I went at work when I gave you these 300 motherfucking dollars. I'm not at work now. Well, I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass about these $300 and your disrespect. Cause my thing is right. If you think you can do it better, you get your fucking ass on. You don't um talk shit about the last organization that pretty much floated you to for years. And definitely don't drag me in because I ain't got nothing to do with it. Bitch. Man, we okay. And that was, somebody I was, pretty cool with. Motherfucking goddamn, you want to talk shit. And then what? And the thing about it is, they wanted me over there in that new organization, whatever, because they knew, my work and stuff like that. And I was like, I had got mad at him. I said, I don't know about going. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay where I am. And those niggas, they got slick ass mouth. And they couldn't duplicate. They lasted maybe. And after after a while, it was a lot happened. We had to get over some shit, and I did some stuff with them, right? Because I know they just needed a little assistance. But after we got over that, after we put Florida back together, I was able to deal with them, whatever, baby. The baby talking about going viral. Shit, because I used to go viral before going viral was going viral. Baby, what? Hmm. Y'all better get into it. I'm trying to tell you, honey. Child. Damn niggas, honey. That's the only thing I can tell you. I can't stand them motherfuckers. Because they understanding be like something crazy. How you want to go, but you ain't even trying to pitch in on your own shit? You okay with somebody letting you take a corner or get in the car, not even, even though I ain't asking you for no gas money, bitch, can you offer? What kind of shit is this? You need to be the main one to offer. Because the people that can and always do, that's what they do. They'll even run into the gas station, and because they know I ain't gonna ask them or whatever. Them mother go in that gas station and get them a soda and some chips and come on the fuck out and get back in the car. Won't even pump the gas. Just oh, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all. One day I'm gonna do a timeline. That time will probably be so goddamn long of bullshit of just stories. I'm gonna set up me a story time channel. Maybe because that shit is therapeutic. Well, I'm sitting right here. The sound you hear? Let's see if you can hear. That's me rubbing my hands together. Cause I'm having a flashback. I'm rubbing my knuckles together and popping them and shit. Cause I should have took off on a bunch of them. It got crazy. I got some shit dealing with that motherfucker. I'm telling you. But he uncool and just wild and crazy about the motherfucking eyes and shit, looking crazy and shit, and just do. We took that girl a month, and see, you don't, motherfuckers already talking about your ass, how you do shit, and you give somebody something really to talk about when you take somebody's child out of town and take their spending money. Black parents notorious for giving their kids spending money, baby. I was like, oh, what? I couldn't believe it. And we gets into it. Like, you can't just fucking do that. Take the people goddamn spending money. Take a child spending money. And you ain't their daddy. Shit, you liable you can get your ass beat. Like, y'all, I've been through more shit in a little bit. And I told you, 8 out of 10 of it is because of other motherfuckers. I'm trying to tell you. 1.5% of it because somebody was fucking with, well, let me change that. Yeah, 1.5% of it because somebody was fucking with me. Because people just don't fuck with me. Yeah. And the other 5%, the other 0.5 because I was feeling the kind of way. A type of way. Shit. I'm telling you, they're going to call me. I'm like, I ain't even that. He ain't tell me whatever. I can't tell nobody what, ma'am, you'll never have, no money to pay. I'm going to call it name. You'll never have no money to pay. That's so you say. You work at the hospital. I'm like the old people, hospital. Pay your ass no motherfucking mind. But yeah, baby, I had to get down in the trenches with it. Don't bring me into the motherfucking bullshit, talking that shit, and because you got these organizations, when there is a national event or something like that, you all gonna be up under the same roof, child, baby. What? Time I almost go to baby. We done almost went to below. Someone can't stand my bitch ass. Took because what you do is in the organization, right? You got the people, the centaurs that left that your organization, not my organization, but that person's organization that you was part of. Then they get new people. Well, the people that's there, they tell the new people, about the people that they had a problem with. And one thing about it, baby, like I don't do like little bitty shit, whatever. The shit I do, honey, it's always some people that can confirm it. Pictures, is write ups, all kinds of shit. I just don't tell you where to go find it. They'll get on here and tell you. It's be some shit. Hell. Ooh, chat. All kind of shit done broke loose. Over what? But when they, the people that disgruntled, they tell the new people. Now the new people looking at you crazy. They don't know you like that. Whatever. I'm like, would you like to get to know me, bitch? Start no shit with me. I ain't had nothing to do with half the shit these people up here talking about. It wasn't me. I just decided to stay. That's it. That's the only fucking thing I did. And because they know that a lot of how much work I put in, whatever, they know damn well. Um, they know damn. I mean, they know I ain't have nothing to do with nothing. That would disenfranchise or cause problems that treat any adults or kids funny or whatever. They know damn well I don't have nothing to do with that. But they know a lot of work I put into it or whatever. And my work was trying to improve it. It was broken when I got it. Well, the organization overall was broken. The part that when I came into it very early when it was just getting started because it was multi a multi a multi-cause organization, right? Just like mine and many others. Some of them is just a single focus organization, or some are multi-causes, right? And mm, 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 mm. And another mistake people do: commingle your funds with the organization. You talking about a motherfucking nightmare. That's when you got to understand budget. That's when you have to. You cannot listen. I'm trying to tell you now. You cannot, and this is what niggas do. Take your money, fund a cause, fund the organization, and think when the people or when the money come, you are going to recoup that and put it back in your account, whatever. It sounds simple. It sounds like the ideal thing to do. It never works. Especially if you don't understand how to make that work and you're dealing with a nigga mind, it never works. Never worked. Baby, let me tell you something. It was an idea they had where, and I don't know how this sold so much money, but it was a particular magazine. And they had got the fundraiser and did that particular fundraiser. And it brought in a whole, brought in a lot of money. Let me tell you what happened. Cause see, that particular fundraiser, well, this is what I should have said. Because depending on how you do it, recouping your money back, it does work. I take that back. It doesn't work when you have a third element. It don't work right when you have a third element, which is those motherfucking magazines. The magazines aren't free. Okay, so they had a fundraiser with these magazines. They get these subscriptions, right? And when the people, the magazine company get the subscriptions, they send out the magazines. Y'all, oh my God, you talking about disaster. Now I forgot the recouping works most of the times if you do it right. This other thing, they having a third element don't work right. Especially if you don't know what you're doing and if you robbing Peter Pepper. Let me tell you what happened. He takes his money and pays for the event, right? Or whatever part of the event. Does the fundraiser get the money off the for the subscriptions? And he took that money and paid himself back instead of taking that money and sending the magazine company to send the people the magazine. Them people was complaining to me about they ain't got no motherfucking magazine and all the extra. It was crazy. I think it took about a year for them to get a mag. I swear I ain't lying to nobody. Yes. You see, I don't know how shit like that work or don't work because I don't do shit like that. I don't even recoup no money and shit. So I don't do that. I know they do a bunch of that shit. They took that motherfucking money and paid themselves back. I tell you that word of a lie. When and here's the thing, right? If you got that going on, you still if you got an event, people understand the concept. They should. If not, you deal with a bunch of niggas. You're gonna have to pay for your way at an event you attend. Like what the fuck? And who don't know that? You eating, you sleeping, you sightseeing, whatever. You got to pay for that. Duh. So so they should have still set a budget, have the people pay for that event, took that fundraising money, and for the people that couldn't pay whatever, if they did fundraiser, fine, apply it to there, and then and then the extra money that they had, whatever, from whoever who did it, then that could have been applied to the people that couldn't pay. If you had any extra, put that carry that forward to the next event. That's it. Then, if you wanted to recoup your funds, just say you went ahead and paid the deposit, because sometimes the deposit comes early, you got to pay the deposit down. Then, when the people that pay the regular pay out their money, this is absent the fundraiser, pay out their money, take that money and then pay yourself back. Not the fundraiser money that the people that needs to send the magazines out. Huh? I went on the board when that happened. It was crazy. Them motherfuckers removed me from the board and everything. It was crazy, child. I was like, motherfucker, you did me a favor. Cause kind of getting a bad name. People coming to me with all the customer service motherfucking questions and shit like that, and say, Miss Angela, I'm coming to you because you the only one that act like you know what the hell is going on right here. I'm like, oh my, babe, I done been a whole lot of shit. I'm trying to tell you. And somebody told me, said, Angela, you did all of that work with that organization. You know, you could have added a similar piece to your already existing organization. We would have came. And see, I don't work like that. I don't get mad at you and I'm gonna do it, go do it better, do something, and be your competition. I don't work like that. That's not what I do. I don't have that type of hard mentality. I don't do shit like that. Mm-mm. When I tell you I could have buku cleaned up, what? Because you know I'm gonna leverage it. Psh, the fuck? That the activities portion of it, you know, I don't currently have that. Mine is a strictly help based type, and the activities that's covered through, whatever we collect, you know. But we was doing something extra. mm Baby, child. I mean, they could have really, really, really been something big and special or whatever, but child, I just don't know what to say. It's so easy to get it right, but you can't. But if your ass and motherfucker you say, my degree is in business. I said I wouldn't tell nobody that. How you got a whole master's in business and cause you got a motherfucking doctorate in nigga. That's why. Let me get my ass off now, cause I'm flashing. I'm having a flashback. I'm having a flashback. So I don't like fucking with these motherfuckers. Hell, I could have, boy, too nice, too nice. But I got to stop being nice, and I got to stop being shy, because I am shy. Ooh, Jesus, I don't want to lead nothing. I don't want to lead prayer. I don't want to lead nothing. Oh, I don't want to lead the meeting. I don't want to lead nothing. Mm-mm. I don't want to be no special guest. I don't want to be no. I don't want to be. I don't want to do none of that because I listen. Shit. Ugh. But I'm gonna have to figure that out. But don't worry about it. My cousin old enough now. He got it. I think I got it. I think I got the answer to my problems. He can speak. And he ain't scared to do it. And he ain't scared to and he was raised with the same principles and all that type of shit. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I got a bunch of, you know, more people, friends and stuff like that I can incorporate. But baby, your mama, you're gonna be somewhere peeping through the curtain looking. Is it going okay? Is everything all right? I'm be in the kitchen serving plates. Y'all don't know I am quiet and shy. I'd rather be somewhere just, oh my gosh. Seems like I come in somewhere. Come and see it. Oh Lord. No. I'm telling you one, oh, child, I can't get into that. Ooh, I be all the time that mother. Oh, that mother got me traumatized. I'm traumatized. That was pretty much my last nigga experience, and I took a gamble then because I already know not to fuck with niggas, right? Took a gamble, and the return was about 75% favorable because I'm at the table, so I know what's going on. But I just didn't like anything that I'm a part of having negative comments and shit, and ones that could have been prevented. Like that's what I'm saying. You always got to work on them presets, child. Them presets. You could have prevented this by setting your shit up right. Get your shit together. And how long you been doing this? The fuck? Have people walk around here with bad names and shit. And some of my friends was traumatized. Like, and I go somewhere, people know the organization. You can't get nobody to want to, to help. Well, yeah. I'm like, child, I know. Mm-mm. And they stayed and helped because of me. Ain't that some shit? Even after I left, stayed for a minute. And I brought so many. Don't play with me ever. Anyway, trying to get off here because I'm about to go down memory, goddamn lane on this ass. Anyway, y'all, make sure y'all do something good for yourself and someone else. Make it a good day tomorrow, a better day. Don't get pulled up with niggas. Don't bring them to your level, honey. Just don't do it. It ain't worth it. Stop going back and forth with these people. Definitely stop. Don't even fuck with them. Don't talk to them. Don't do nothing. Just leave them where they at. Hell, I don't know what to tell you. Leave them where they at. If they can't talk to you, then they can't talk to you. Understand what I'm saying? If their vernacular they ain't close or similar or whatever, if they got the birds flying around inside their head, don't even go there. Let them have it. Because I'm trying to tell you what will happen. And this is listen. Should have learned from my experiences. Learn. Shit. Pay attention. Okay? It seems like the birds is flying around inside their head instead of outside. Leave it alone. Hell. Shit. I'm trying to tell you. It's a whole if a motherfucker that have to um buy the shit that you have to catch up, they ain't in your situation. They ain't in your classification. They ain't even in your situation. They ain't on your own. They ain't even in. If they above you, let them be above. They just ain't on your level, on your time. Okay, understand what I'm trying to tell you. What I tell you, direct. Let it go. Because motherfuckers gonna be on your status. Your credit gonna tank. Anyway, let me go. Oh shit! I'm trying to tell you some bad shit. Yeah, polices and shit. Police is already fucking poor. What? What are you talking about? Fishes and let me get up off him. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. And I'm leaving with you.